Um, it's probably a natural progression from as a PGA pro when I was teaching an assistant pro. Um, you're working with general management and you see it, and you always thought it was a separation between one to the other. But as you went through your career, you felt maybe this is something you could do or would want to do. So then, with involvement of CME and getting started, you realize, yeah, maybe I can do this. So it's probably a natural progression as you moved on and got older and more experienced. You felt that it is something you can do. So that's how I made the leap from one to the other. Um, Probably the biggest one is realizing the cultural differences from yourself or where you're going, and to respect it and understand it as quickly as possible. So you don't make certain mistakes at the beginning. That's vital. As a manager, what has been probably vital is building the team that is suitable for the situation. So, bringing the right people in that's going to achieve what you're looking for in that environment or in that club atmosphere. It's changing all the time. There's been quite a few, even in my current position, but there is always challenges, and is to try and maybe change a committee or change a club to the way that some may want or a majority do. But if it's set in stone, to actually make the change is very, very hard. But you're challenged with those tasks, and it has been very successful up until now. Is to make that change, is to make it planned and to make it happen. Um, even when I applied for the job, when I was asked to apply for the job, I didn't know it was not a golf club, if that makes sense. So it wasn't until the third round of interviews when it became clear it was a rugby club, and I immediately took my name out. I know nothing about rugby, but they called me back, or the chairman called me back and said, no, we don't want somebody who's involved in rugby and has the mentality of rugby. They wanted a change. They wanted somebody who's coming in from a different angle and have a different perspective of membership or running a club, away from the over, as we probably talked about with Maggie this morning, the over 50, over 70 white, da, 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 and they wanted something different. So I went back into the interview process, got the job, and it's more about running a membership club than an actual rugby club. They had other departments that would run that side, and I was more involved in running the whole club in entirety and not a specific sport. So that's what they wanted, and that's what they got. And we made huge changes actually in the whole 5 years I was there, from developing the membership to the multi-sport social family club, which it is now. So probably quite proud of that position. Networking, and definitely coming to events like this, the conferences, the CME, the MTPs, and with all the emails that you're sending out, this is probably the best way to keep your finger on the pulse of the changes of AI, all the different things that's coming into um, our industry, whether it's for the agronomy side. There's so many areas that we need to keep on top of and to work out, whether it's finance or marketing, but agronomy, the AI, and how it's going to affect it going forward, which we're trying to keep up with. It's going to save us a lot of money, actually, the AI and agronomy side of it. So we have to keep on top of these as much as we can. It's probably firstly got me into the positions I was in those clubs. The CCM is so vital with cementing your qualifications or cementing your experience. If to have that CCM after your name does help get your foot in the door for the interviews, to then take you through and be successful in the position itself. It helps you with the team, with the CCM. That actually, people would ask what is it, and actually then strive to become that as well. So, and there's been quite a few through the journey of my last few positions where they've joined CME and are now on the pathway to CCM themselves. 100% go for it. Enjoy the journey and not actually worry about the result. Some panic and look at the CCM, how hard it might be or how difficult the actual exam is. But it's the journey getting there is the process, and that sets you up for the exam itself. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people panic with the difficulty of the exam, but they actually enjoy it and let yourself go through the process, and you'll get there in the end. It's difficult, especially where we are. We're in a country with very limited or very new um, hospitality background, or forget about golf, but even just in the hospitality background, it is limited. So it's very hard to get the team you wish or you can build. So it's trying to get the right team and keep the right team is the biggest challenge. They're always, the youth of today are very unloyal. They will very quickly jump from one to another, and there's so many new projects coming in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's very hard to actually maintain your team that you're looking for. You do have an advantage as Royal Greens. It's the best in the area in the Middle East. So we have an attraction, but it's then motivating, looking after, training them, and we go from highs to very lows. So we're very quiet to the big events, to Live Golf, to Saudi International. So it's maintaining the standards throughout is a challenge, and it's an exciting one. 100%. Sport, golf is a huge part of the 2030 vision. And golf in particular is a big part of the tourism vision and to attract people to come to visit Saudi Arabia, which millions do every year, obviously for religious reasons. But this is then like almost a bolt on to the visit to Saudi Arabia, is to then enjoy the culture, the sport. And 2030 vision is also for the participation of Saudis to be in sport and for their social well-being. So golf, Formula One, boxing, tennis, it's expanding day by day, hour by hour, let alone month by month. It is very rapid at the moment. In the next few months to years, we'll see many new giga projects, as they're called in Saudi Arabia, coming online and opening up, which will then share the load of the tournaments. You'll see them in Riyadh and the Red Sea and up in Neom. So you'll see many new Red Sea, Royal Greens level of golf courses. Just the day to day is just seeing both the members and the team members both together is working together is the most rewarding part of any general manager's job. Whether it's their progression from a waiter to a supervisor to a manager and then going through the CCM pathway and then onto a new job somewhere else. We're losing somebody, but they're going forward to realize their dreams. This is probably the most rewarding part.